The Bay of Pigs. Invasion. America's most embarrassing failure.
In 1961, the world watched as the United States, the most powerful nation on Earth, tried to overthrow a tiny island's government and failed spectacularly.
Trained rebels are captured in 72 hours. A secret CIA operation exposed to the world. And a young US president left humiliated on the global stage.
This is the Bay of Pigs invasion, a mission that was supposed to be clean, quick, and quiet, but ended up becoming one of the most embarrassing failures in American history.
To understand the Bay of Pigs, we need to go back to 1959. Cuba, just 90 miles off the coast of Florida, had undergone a dramatic transformation. Fidel Castro, a young revolutionary, had overthrown the US-backed dictator Fulgencio Batista.
At first, many in the US saw Castro as a liberator, but it didn't take long for tensions to rise.
Castro nationalized American businesses, aligned himself with the Soviet Union, and openly declared Cuba a socialist state.
To Washington, this wasn't just a problem, it was a threat. The Cold War had reached America's doorstep.
Under President Dwight D. Eisenhower and later John F. Kennedy, the CIA developed a plan. Train a group of Cuban exiles. Arm them.
Send them back to Cuba to spark a popular uprising. Remove Castro without direct US military involvement. The plan sounded good on paper,
but it was based on dangerous assumptions. That the Cuban people would join the rebels, that Castro's army would crumble quickly, and that US involvement would stay secret. Spoiler, none of that happened.
On April 17, 1961, over 1,400 CIA-trained Cuban exiles landed at a beach called Playa Girón, part of the Bay of Pigs. Almost immediately, things went wrong.
Their ships were delayed, their planes were shot down. They faced heavy resistance from Castro's forces, and most importantly, there was no uprising.
The Cuban people didn't rise up. They stood with Castro. Within 3 days, the invaders were outnumbered, outgunned, and surrounded. Over 1,100 were captured. More than 100 were killed. And the mission was a total disaster.
The world now knew the United States had tried and failed to topple a foreign government. President John F. Kennedy, just 3 months into his term, faced a global humiliation.
U.S. credibility in Latin America crumbled. Soviet-Cuban ties grew stronger, and Castro emerged as a hero of anti-American resistance.
Behind closed doors, Kennedy was furious. He had trusted the CIA, and they had failed him. But publicly, he took full responsibility, a rare move in politics.
Still, the damage was done, and it would soon spiral into something even more dangerous. The Bay of Pigs didn't just fail. It pushed Cuba closer to the USSR.
In 1962, just a year later, Soviet nuclear missiles were discovered in Cuba, triggering the Cuban Missile Crisis, the closest the world has ever come to nuclear war.
In a way, the Bay of Pigs wasn't just a failure. It was the spark that nearly ended the world.
The Bay of Pigs invasion teaches us a hard lesson. That arrogance, secrecy, and wishful thinking can be a dangerous mix. That even superpowers can make colossal mistakes. And that interfering in other nations' politics often backfires.
For Kennedy, it was a humbling experience. For Cuba, a rallying cry. And for history, a reminder that even the best-laid plans can lead to disaster.
Do you think the Bay of Pigs was an avoidable mistake? Subscribe for more stories of military miscalculations, covert operations, and the turning points that shaped our world.
Like this video if you believe history's biggest blunders hold the biggest lessons. Share this with someone who thinks foreign policy is always black and white.
Until next time, sometimes the greatest embarrassment is the one no one saw coming.